Well, the federal government says its new migration strategy will bring the number of people coming to Australia back to sustainable levels.
International students and graduates will be in focus, and a new specialist visa for highly skilled workers will be established. Melinda Cilento is the CEO of the Committee for Economic Development of Australia and joins us now. Melinda, good morning.
Good morning.
Good to chat. Talk us through some of these changes that we're going to see in this announcement, this review.
Yeah, look, it's a very comprehensive strategy that's been announced. It's been reflecting a lot of work that's been done over the last couple of years, really, in consultation with a wide range of stakeholders. There's very important parts to it, I think. You've talked about a specialist skills visa. That sits within a skills in demand visa which has been created, which will have 3 tiers to it, which is really targeting the skills that we need in Australia to help us sustain the growth and investment that we want to, but also to be able to provide skills in sectors like the aged care sector, which we really need.
Is that the one that they're going to speed up the process and get it to 7 days?
That's the specialist skills visa, which is one of the sort of 3 tiers in this new skills and demand visa. And it is targeting really high skilled, specialised skills that we know business is calling out for. The 7-day commitment is fantastic. I think it's a fast-track visa to get the people in that are really going to help business drive the growth that we need. There's still the core skills system, which we're familiar with, and an area that we've been very focused on at CEDA is the establishment of an essential skills visa. So this is to get the workers into sectors like the care sector. At the moment, we know we've got a real shortage there. Around a third of the workforce already comes through migration, but if we can get this essential skills visa established, which the government is committed to, that's going to give us a really predictable pipeline into the sector that can work with the education and training sector.
Do you think some of these, the things in this strategy go far enough? Because it seems like a real juggle between getting migrants in to match the skills that we need and in the workforce, but also housing and infrastructure isn't keeping up with that. So do you think this has the right balance?
Yeah, I think what the strategy has done is mapped out a long-term planning commitment, if you like. So working in collaboration with the states and territories to plan for future population, to look at the evidence of where the skills needs are, and how they can be met through migration, but then also having a look at what the impact of that is and sort of recalibrating on the way through. So I think that long-term planning commitment is very important.
You talked about the aged care as being one of the examples. The bush, rural Australia, has also been a very big example of where it hasn't really worked, what they've tried in the past.
It is really hard to get this right, and I think what we've seen in the strategy is some commitments to what's being done now. The essential skills visa that we want to see put in place is something the government's committed to continuing to work on, and you've got to get that framework right. So we're happy to continue to work on that with them. The regional piece as well, that's about making sure that you've got the planning there as well to make sure that migrants can settle well into those places where there are jobs, and that the community is confident that, as you say, the infrastructure is there, the housing is there, and that the whole of community benefit is actually achieved.
This strategy is complex. There's a lot of detail, a lot of different areas that are being looked at. Are there any issues that you think the government should have looked at or perhaps didn't bring in that you think would have been beneficial?
I think it's been incredibly comprehensive. The high level sort of objectives, if you like, in terms of establishing this long-term planning, looking at how we can make sure we're getting the right skills, and also that once people are here, that they can make the most of those skills. So improving skills recognition and accreditation. Then there's issues that are looking at integrity. So trying to make sure that when migrants come here, they aren't exploited, which of course all Australians want to make sure. And then commitments to improve processing and efficiency. So I think it's really covered all of the system, and it largely reflects the advice and recommendations of the review that was put in, so the expert review that was undertaken. So I do think this is a pretty significant reform and one that should deliver benefits for business and the community.
Melinda Cilento, thank you for coming in this morning and having a chat about it.
Thanks so much.